All you got to do is put as much money into an S&P 500 index fund for your child when they're born as you put towards your car note. You've been paying your car note on time every month for 20 years. You've been paying the rent on time for 30 years. You've been paying your credit card bill on time every month, your cell phone bill on time. Pay for your future on time too. That's the biggest, most important investment that you'll ever make. So literally everything we're talking about, and I reiterate this because I need y'all to see me repeat myself. I need y'all to hear consistency here. That's my goal. In case you're wondering, like sometimes you'll be like, well, Dr. Boyce says the same thing over and over again. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know where I got that from? I saw with the CEO of Domino's Pizza, they said, well, how did you build this billion-dollar company? He said, I just repeated myself for 10 years. I repeated myself. And that's what I do. Some of these messages, I just say the same thing in different ways. The basic message is really simple. Number one, black people should educate our own children, create our own jobs, support black owned businesses. If we do those three things, educate our own kids, stop letting other people take over your culture. You saw BET is now losing the BET Awards and the Soul Train Awards. Well, they're not losing them because you can't lose something you never had. You can't lose something if it was never yours, then how can you lose we didn't lose the Soul Train Awards. You never had it. It was owned by Paramount. Paramount is owned by the same people who are over in Palestine shooting little babies on their way to get food. That's so Paramount has owned the Soul Train Awards, not you. And they had to give up the Soul Train Awards, I bet you, because Trump had to get Trump's blessing to do their merger with ByteDance. I think it's Skydance. I said ByteDance. That's another company. Skydance was buying Paramount. They couldn't get approval for the merger. In order to get approval, they had to go bow at the knees of Donald Trump. And Donald Trump probably said, "I'll sign off, but you got to fire Steve Colbert, and you gotta go and do XYZ with BET." Because we don't like them Negroes anyway. So when your DEI money's cut off and you can't get your sponsors to sponsor your little toxic award shows, right? And the president of the United States has told your daddy's daddy, not your daddy's daddy, that what he better do because he's got real power and you have fake power. Then guess what? You bend the knee and you give up what you have to give up. And again, this is all happening right now. In case you don't know, this was the big conversation that the Soul Train Awards and the BET Hip Hop Awards are no more. They say we're reconsidering it, we're revamping it for a new media landscape. Yeah, whatever, right? And so so personally, if you want to know my 2 cents, Ben, honestly, I'm not a fan of I'm not a fan of like half of that. I'm not saying everything that they do is toxic. I'm just saying that a lot of it is. And what I think that we still haven't yet learned is the difference between real power and the appearance of power. We have things that look like power, but they're not real power. In fact, on the wall behind me, you have two guys that were diametrically opposed in their positioning, Marcus Garvey and W.E.B. Du Bois. And I've spent time when I was in Ghana at W.E.B. Du Bois's house. He's a fellow scholar. His name sounds like mine. His name was Boyce. My name is Boyce. How cool is that? Well, I was in there and I was admiring this man and I said, wow, he was doing this work all the way up until he was 93. This is where he spent his last days. He had this extraordinary career, but he hated Marcus Garvey. Y'all know a lot of y'all know the story. If you don't know the story, basically, a lot of people believe he played a role in getting Garvey deported and locked up and arrested and all this other stuff, which really disappoints me quite a lot. But here's the thing that's interesting too. Um, Marcus Garvey had real power. Marcus Garvey built an institution. He built his own company. He could create jobs. W.E.B. Du Bois didn't know how to do that. W.E.B. Du Bois, from what I know, he knew how to get a job, right? And so what happens is that creates a little civil war. You've got the black people with fake power, and then you got the black people with real power. And sometimes the fake power people hate the real power people because they're like, wait, how can you be all liberated and talk like that and still be okay? Like, I can't talk like that at my job. I can't say these things to my boss. And wait, you're telling me you don't have a boss? That's not possible, Negro.